Viewers, and welcome to Editing 101.
We're here to share with you some editing techniques.
First off, I just want to say we'll be giving you examples and not literally showing you how to edit. That said, there are plenty of videos online about how to edit.
So first things first, how did editing begin?
In 1895, the Lumiere brothers showed their first film. These are black and white shorts that last up to approximately 50 seconds.
They were silent movies that had no sound and no cuts. The most noted one is that of a train.
It was entitled The Arrival of a Train at a Train Station. It is said that the audience ran to the back of the room in terror. It was a man named George Millay that really started off editing. In 1899, he first began to connect strips of film together, making them longer.
But no editing techniques had yet been discovered. However, in 1918, Russian director Lev Kuleshov did an experiment.
He took a shot of an actor and intercut with shots of a bowl of soup, a child playing with a teddy bear, and a shot of an elderly woman in a casket.
Everyone thought the actor was amazing, but the shot of the actor was actually years before the others, and he never saw any of them.
In 1903, a man named Edwin S. Porter made the breakthrough film Life of American Fireman.
It was the first film to have a plot, action, and even a close-up.
The Great Train Robbery is the first example of dynamic action editing and piecing together scene shot at different times and places for emotional impact.
It was discovered that the screen image does not need to show a complete person from head to toe, and that splicing together two shots creates in the viewer's mind a contextual relationship.
Next came D.W. Griffith, otherwise known as the father of editing. Griffith developed many editing techniques that are still used today.
Film editing is an art that can be used in diverse ways. It can create sensual, provocative montages,
Bring out the emotional truth in actors' performance,
create a point of view on events,
guide the telling and pace of a story,
creating an illusion of danger where there actually is none,
give emphasis to things that would not have otherwise been noticed,
even create vital emotional connections to the viewer among other many possibilities.
Film editing is often referred to as the invisible art.
The initial editing of films was done with a positive copy of film. The negative was using the rough version of the motion picture, by physically cutting and pasting together pieces of film using a splicer and a threading on the film machine.
However, today films are edited digitally on systems such as Avid or Final Cut Pro. Thanks to modern day technology, instead of taking some scissors to footage, we can use a variety of techniques to edit films. According to a man named Walter Murch, when it comes to film editing, there are 6 main criteria for evaluating a cut.
Now, emotion. Does the cut reflect what the editor believes the audience should be feeling at that moment?
Story. Does the cut advance the story?
Rhythm. Does the cut occur at a moment that is rhythmically interesting and right?
Eye trace. Does the cut pay respect to the location and movement of the audience's focus of interest within the frame?
Two-dimensional plane of the screen. Does the cut represent the 180-degree rule?
Three-dimensional space of action. Is the cut true to the physical/spatial relationship within the diegesis?
Okay, now that we've given you some of the backstory, it's now on to the fun part.
Actual editing techniques. First up is jump cuts. Here are some examples of well-used jump cuts. As you can see, they are actually pleasing to watch and are effectively used within both the music videos.
In a sense, jump cuts are a little like time compression, just on a smaller scale.
Next up is pace and rhythm.
Here are 2 examples.
So you can see it every day. It's all for love. It's all for love. I will do anything for my love.
Because the Paramore song is a rock song, and the shot pacing has to be quicker to move the rhythm of the music, as you can see, the shots are timed to change along with the beating of the drums.
Compared to that of a slower song, for example, Sam Pepper's video LA Dream, where the pace matches the slow rhythm.
Next, techniques, crosscut and cutaways. As you can see in The Godfather communion scene.
The use of this technique is to show two events happening at the same time. It also shows a contrast within The Godfather between life and death and how they interweave. Next up is my favourite editing technique, the montage. This technique is used to show the pacing of time, like a time compression, but more often than not it is used in movies to show someone improving over a long period of time.
Montages are commonly used in action movies such as Rocky.
The fast-forward/reverse technique isn't commonly used within editing unless it relates to the telling of the story. For example, in the Coldplay music video, the whole thing is shot in reverse.
By the end, the story is eventually revealed to you. The use of the reverse technique is what keeps the audience in suspense over what's happening within the music video.
With editing and filming, you should always remember the 180-degree rule.
There is an imaginary line called the axis that you shouldn't cross. This is because it will get confusing for the audience.
For example, on the dinner scene, the camera stays on a certain shoulder of the actors, keeping to the 180-degree rule. This is so the audience can see where everyone is positioned and doesn't get confused.
The only time you can break the 180-degree rule is when you use the 360-degree rule, which is when you go around the actors in a full circle. As you can see in The Matrix, the slow motion technique was used to show the action within the movie as the character was being shot at.